Alright guys, so this is that Ace of Swords. We're coming up on a resistance level. However, there's a low correlator here. I think we probably have a nosedive off of this pop, like a pop and drop. Because we have the strength card, that implies that there's a decline between this strength card here and this rally here. There's notable decline because out of the decline you have the strength card. That's where it starts, out of a decline. So likely that's what's going on here. I might take this opportunity. I really shouldn't trade. If I was going to trade, I would probably take this opportunity and buy a put. Sell in the morning, but I'm being advised not to anyway, so. So we have a fake out tomorrow. It's a start card, so something happens. Like we probably have a little bit of a dip. And then we come back and we turn the high that we created today into new support. So remember, fast sudden move at the end of the day, marking the end of a period of volatility. And meeting a high for the month, or a prominent crest, I should say. It's a big move higher. So the cost averaging down is starting to look like a good idea, thankfully. The Mercury retrograde strategy that I put together over like 20 years. Oh my God, I'm still perfecting it because it's Mercury retrograde that you're dealing with. Wow. Why is it doing that? It's not letting me play music. It's so weird. Now remember guys, I want to be clear. When we're looking at today's reading, we have the Princess of Swords here first thing in the morning, which means this price level down here is a mean point between a high point and a low point, where we can open up a straddle or a strangle here and make money in both directions. That's usually what happens when you see the Princess of Swords. So it's basically telling us we're going to go lower than this level again. We're going to go lower than this level again. I think we probably have like a drop like overnight. It's okay. So the strength card's really difficult. Now that I've changed the meaning of the position of the sneak preview card, I'm like relearning some of these meanings, and this is a little bit of a tricky one. I would say that this is an open up, but the thing is that it's because it's a bullish card, but it has within it, innately it comes out of a decline. And since we only see bullish cards here, aside from this Ace of Swords, we see pretty much bullish cards here. That would mean that overnight we have a drop. And then that would make sense because we have a devil card, so it's like we're trying to scare people, shake people out before we have this rally on the 21st. Like 21st, the close of the 21st, or right around the end of the day, the 21st, there's an opportunity to open up some puts for a swing trade overnight. Selling those puts on the 22nd in the morning when we open. My sense is that we don't go past this high here, guys. based on the fact that it's the Ace of Swords, so we're basically like establishing resistance here. I'm advised to take my execute my plans quickly. Jeez, look at that move. My calls doubled already. I mean, they're severely out of the money, so I'll cost average down that way that I can make back some of that money without us going, like, we don't have to go all the way back to where I bought them in order to do that, right? Because I cost average down, so I'll get out of some of these as we move to the upside. But still holding the put, that stupid put that I purchased on Friday. That I shouldn't have deviated from my plan. I'm still holding that. Because I've got so many calls, it doesn't really matter. It's the expiration's pretty close. It's on the 21st, which means if I do get an opportunity to sell at a good price, like I see a dip, and I'd sell and get out because it's so close to expiration. I shouldn't have purchased it to begin with. Well, we're establishing new resistance basically, and we should see volatility off of this price level. Matter of fact, I think we're probably already in the adjustment card. It's a little early for that. It's kind of like a blend of them. Because you could consider this a prominent low here, but it's not in the last hour, so a little interesting. That's Mercury retrograde for. We're up on the 200-day moving average here, so that's generally a pretty strong price level. You could say, like, where we test resistance. If we break out through it, then we go pretty high. And my sense is probably tomorrow we're gonna look like we're not breaking out through it. That's my sense. We're gonna have like a fake out tomorrow, right? And then we break through it. There's a rally along the diagonal trend line on the 21st, breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting a second resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two prices. 22nd, very likely we have some sort of prominent low here. There's like a big drop. It looks like there must be a big drop right here. 21st to the 22nd is my sense. We've got three aces. 1, 2, 3. Oof, yeah, that's going to be a juicy opportunity, and this is a great opportunity here in the morning, first thing in the morning, to open up a long position. I'm finding that the Prince of Swords is more and more becoming a bullish card. Yeah, but this, you can see this is a pretty critical price level right here. We're going to mark this the Ace of Swords. I like to do swords in yellow, but of course E-Trade's above, so I can't get to the yellow. So, annoying. Retrograde. Alright, so I'm going to annotate. so, you know, looking at a one-day chart, look at this move. This is, I mean, a one-day candlestick, I should say. Look at this move right here. I'd say that that's a big green bar, a move to the upside that stands out on a multi-day chart. I think we probably have a really big drop, a pop and drop here. There's a big move higher on the 21st, and especially end of day. It looks like a big drop on the 22nd. Big move back down. Caroline. Oh, appreciate it. I had this music, actually. I had it made. I had it composed. I was just thinking about it yesterday. I want to update it and make it a little bit more, give it more depth. Taking any questions you guys might have as well. Yeah, look at that move. Oof. Called that one. I mean, my sense is that we have more. I'm looking for any drop, pretty much any notable drop, to get out of that stupid put that I've got. But I followed the rest of my plan. I just shouldn't have bought a put. That's all. You know, but I followed the rest of my plan and cost average down. I'm sitting on quite a bit of September 30 expiration calls that I cost average down as we were on our way down. I've got the 415s and the 425s. Like I said, they're deep out of the money. If you don't own these, I highly recommend you do not buy them. There's too much stress involved, it's too speculative, and it's also retrograde. Let me test this strategy myself first, like I've done everything. But in any case, I'm not looking for them to become in the money. I'm looking for them to appreciate past 50 cents when I start making a profit. It's not really, you don't really need that big of a move to get to 50 cents. I just wish I'd sold my put early in the morning. I thought about doing that, but I decided to walk my dog instead. Oy. Good old retrograde. Yeah, so I'm going to get a dip in here, and I'm advised to execute plans quickly, and by that I think what they're saying is that I should get out of that put. This is a significant move higher. Looks like we have a breakout right around the open, off of through a support level. Multiple failed attempts to break through right at the open, but then we break out. This is wrong. This should be green. I don't know. I mean, there's a big... So when I look at the low for tomorrow, it's nullified, but there's a big move to reach it, and from it, it looks like a really big move. This should be green as well. A really big move to reach it. Hey, Unlimited. How you doing, man? Will it be 75 basis points on Wednesday? Fed meeting? I mean, it's going to be a big move. I could tell you that based on what I'm seeing here on the 1 month. The thing is, it's like there's a lot of conflicting energy here, so there's a dip in there. There's a little dip somewhere, in between, like in between 19th and 21st. A little bit of a dip. It's a fake out. There's something on it, like a rally that's unexpected comes of it. Let's take a closer look. Well, actually, let me look at these blue stars real quick. Star right in the middle of the 20th. Looks like we start to have Queen of Cups energy on the 21st. I mean, the star card's a big move. The success card's usually a pretty bullish move. And these reverse clairvoyant anchors are speaking of big moves. And volatility should pick up now that we're kind of like midway or almost midway through. I'd say we're probably about midway through retrograde, or a little bit more than midway through retrograde. And at that point, we go from like seemingly calm, normal energies. They're not, but they seem that way. And the volatility starts to pick up. They're actually the reverse of what's normal. And so the volatility starts to pick up as we move forward towards the second. I think there's a possibility that we do see a really big move. Let me see. Keep trying. Answer to the following question. 75 basis points. The Fed. I gotta get a new deck of cards. It gets so humid in Florida that my cards get all bendy. I got the Devil card, man. Like, that's a big no. Not 75 points, but there's something going on there. They're going to mislead the public somehow. It looks like, based on this meeting is going to mislead the public. So be aware of that. Yeah, I am single. Yes, I'm not really looking to not be single. It's too much of a distraction from the work that I'm doing, to be honest. Oh yeah, Hope, I appreciate it. Yeah, Twitter just permanently suspended me. They must have done it weeks ago because I never log on. But I logged on today because I was trying to set something up with TikTok. I have to like apply to get a stream key so I can multi-stream on TikTok. Anyhow, so I find out that I've been permanently suspended for breaking their rules of conduct on Twitter, and I'm just like it's ridiculous. You guys have no idea how much. Everybody's like, when you tell them you're psychic, their first thought is that you're trying to scam them immediately. You're trying to scam them, like, immediately, especially me, because look at me. I don't look like a psychic. I don't act like a psychic. Whatever that means, like a psychic. But, you know, I mean, it's really getting frustrating. So I appealed, and I told them, I was like, if we went to court for a discrimination case, I would win, because the evidence is so overwhelming, and the jury will have to look at it. They'll be forced to look at it. It would be a historic case. We would have the first case in history of discrimination towards psychic, which is a quality of an individual, right? You could be discriminatory of somebody who has the same color skin as you. You could be discriminatory of any colored skin as long as they're a police officer or they speak a certain language. I mean, there's a million, they have mental health issues. Like, there's a million things that you could discriminate for, and just because it's so widely accepted that being a psychic is so fake, like, people don't even realize how discriminatory they're being. And I'm just tired of it. I'm gonna make a big stink. So I did an appeal. They can choose to unappeal me. TikTok took down two of my videos like the day before yesterday, about 5 minutes after I put them up. I appealed. They were smart enough to put them back and tell me that they valued my content. Yeah, and I'm glad they did, because I was like this close to just bouncing on them. You know, I don't have time for these bigots anymore. Like, wake up. Or, you know, I'm not gonna sit on my ass and let these people push me around. I'm gonna make history. Appreciate the shout out about XRP. I mean, I don't really know much about sports, but I could tell you, I could predict like who's winning, who's going to win, or something like that. You know, is there something that you wanted me to predict in the NBA? Like, I wouldn't be able to like tell you what team is going to win, but if you asked me if a team was going to win, I would be able to tell you. I just don't have enough knowledge about sports. Yeah, I'm just tired of it. It's like, it's the new and most accepted form of bigotry, of discrimination, is towards psychic people, and this is a new age. It's going to become a thing. I tried to tell somebody that I felt discriminated, and I was like, this is probably how gay people felt in the 80s when they were coming out of the closet. And somebody's like, I don't appreciate you taking my people into this. I'm part of the gay community. And I'm like, first off, like, how do you know I'm not? Right? Because you passed a discriminatory judgment right off the bat. And it's like, as soon as you say psychic, right out the window, they don't trust you, nothing. So everybody's like, oh yeah, like, you're trying to impress. Don't you think if I was trying to scam or I was trying to impress, I would have picked something believable? I mean, I'm 41 years old, guys. I've been doing this a long time. You don't think I would have figured out, like, do something easily believable? Why not a stock analyst with a 98% average accuracy? Like, because that's not who I am. I'm doing it by tarot, right? It's the hard path. It's the difficult path. It's the path that's being blazed for the community of psychic individuals, the spiritual New Age community, the chosen people, those waking up, those woken. You know, it's that we're blazing trail here for them. I'm not going to back down. So TikTok was smart. Oh yeah, CC, I can do predictions on anything. Like, the reason why I use the stock market is because it was a very good measurable tool to help me develop my abilities. And not only that, but I was on Wall Street when I had a near-death experience and my third eye awakened. Or my knowledge of my third eye, I don't know, however you want to call it. So that's why I do the stock market, because there's nobody else on the planet that can predict with this detail or accuracy, not even close. Not even close. It's like apples and like hamburgers. That's the difference. Like, you know, it's not even fruit salad, it's something completely different. But I can do any type of prediction. It's just people really pay attention to the stock market, and people who are really, really focused on the stock market, a lot of them are focused on the wrong thing. Not everybody in that industry is, but a lot of them are. A lot of people that are focused on money, and that's the goal of everything, and they're kind of lost, don't even realize they're in a spiritual development journey. Those are the people that I'm trying to wake up. They pay attention to the stock market. If I can predict the stock market, something which they 100% believe is impossible, and I can do it every single day practically, in a way that can be practically used, consistently relied upon. It's not an if, I do it, but the reason why I do it is because those people will be forced to look at the facts. If I can predict the stock market, how did I do that? That's a spiritual answer, my friends. That's got nothing to do with analysis. That's got nothing to do with stock market knowledge. It has nothing to do with that. I don't look at the news. I don't look up for the most part, like, I don't look up the stock that I'm doing a reading on. I want it to be as, like, I don't want to know anything about it until I do the reading. And I go only by the reading. But it doesn't have to be on stocks. It could be anything. I don't only predict, I do a lot of stuff. I'm full-blown psychic. I mean, I have healing abilities. I manifest things. I mean, technically what we're doing with the stock market is manifestation, not prediction. If you want me to explain, I'll explain. I use the Streamlabs. And they don't allow, they allow for TikTok, but TikTok doesn't give everybody a stream key. You have to, like, apply for it. So I contacted an agency to apply for it. How can you get more involved, CCO? I appreciate the inquiry. There's a lot of things you could share. If there's people that you think this would help, share the channel with them. Like, follow, subscribe. And then, I mean, if you want to help support the channel, not everybody can, but if you want to, there's quite a few ways. We have a donation button in the descriptions. You can open a Webull account through a referral link. We both get 15 free shares of stock. What else? There's a Cash App, like for the rule of karma. People sometimes they send 5% of what they made in profits to my Cash App. Those people are fucking amazing. Excuse me. Those people are amazing. It really means a lot to me that there's people out there that care enough about what I'm doing to put in, take the time not only to spend the money, but to take the time to do it. That's the real commodity these days. Unfortunately, CC, I don't make a lot from my predictions. In a past life, I took a vow to forgo worldly pleasures in search of a higher purpose, or not in search, but for a higher purpose. And no matter how hard I try, it just hasn't happened. I think things are changing now. I had a lot to learn so that I didn't fall victim to my own ego. But I'm now in a place where I'm starting to do really, really well. I just don't predict. I don't trade anymore except around retrograde, because when I trade, it skews. Like I have like my own egoic thoughts that go into play. And not only that, but it's very difficult to extrapolate all this information and still be prepared to place the trades and all that stuff. It's just too much. I mean, like the reading that we're looking at right now easily took 3 hours of time. So Eso-Meta, you can literally use Eso-Meta analysis to time anything. It doesn't need to be an investment. It could be anything, guys. You can literally time anything with it. It's a completely new way of timing utilizing tarot. It combines two old practices in a way that's never been done. It's basically cutting edge occult science. I do okay. And to answer your question, I do okay. I do okay as far as the stock market goes. But it's not my main focus. My main focus is to blow minds. My main focus is to open up third eyes. My main focus is to turn people around. There's three types of entities, or three directions in which a soul may be going. We should say four. One's not really a direction. It's staying in one place. But you've got the people moving up, people moving down. You've got souls that are stuck in place, and then you got a select few that are like up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, back and forth. And that's basically what I spent my entire life learning how to do, even before I realized I was doing it. It's really funny. I'm like in a penthouse on the beach. It's one of the tallest buildings in or at least in North Fort Lauderdale, and I'm on the top floor. And it's like I go down to the street, and it's like metaphoric. I'm in this different state of reality, this higher vibration when I'm by myself, and then I go down 18 flights to the ground, and I interact with that vibration and people on that vibration. It's so metaphoric, but it's really the case. I think I skipped a few people. Did I skip somebody? If I skipped you, it was by accident, my friends. I'm so sorry. No, October is not going to be better, Hassan. October is not going to be better. Early October is going to be awful. Matter of fact, if you want to know about October, we have the newsletter. So there's a free newsletter. If you go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, there's a free newsletter that comes out on the 21st of every month, predicting the following month in the S&P. And so you can get that for free. It's emailed right to you. All you got to do is go to the website, tarotfortraders.com, and sign up for the newsletter. It's pretty simple. You get that every month. We're averaging roughly 98% average accuracy, and that's like, predicting to the day in a lot of cases. So we do have a notable high in October, but there's more to go. Like there's a lot going on before we get there. I probably want to go long on the 7th. Probably not even. It's just go with whatever my prediction was. I did it. Oh, that's November. That's why I'm like, what the hell? So October. Yeah, here we go. So we have a pop here early on, but there's quite a bit of volatility. And we leave the shadow of retrograde on the 16th. You can see there's a lot of stuff going on here. We should see some domestic unrest around the 11th. Quite a bit of volatility there. There's going to be a really strong decline from the high of the month. So in any case, I get into much more detail in October. I'm working on November right now. Check it out. And let's see, when did I do that reading? Like, I should be world famous, you guys understand? What I'm doing is impossible. I've been doing it for years and proving it on YouTube for over a year. Proving it on the website Tarot for Traders since 2018, I believe. So, I mean, I should be world famous, but I'm dealing with like extreme discrimination. People are just like, oh, this is a scam. I'm going to do the right thing and report him, and then automatically algorithm like takes you off. You're suspended. You have to appeal. Like, it's ridiculous. It's like the most discriminatory act towards me that anybody's ever done, and it's happened so many times. I wasn't allowed to advertise on Google, on Wix, on Facebook. I wasn't allowed to do email campaigns because they don't support scams. And for whatever reason, me giving people free advice and calling myself a psychic is a scam, where an analyst can charge you a bunch of money for 55% accuracy if they're really good. They'll say, I have no clue, it could do this, it could do this. And that's not a scam. That's a scam. So that's what I'm looking to do. We have to change the way that people see psychic phenomenon if we're going to advance as a society, because the limitations of human society, they're no longer in human evolution. It's no longer the speed at which information travels. That's instantaneous, like big deal. Nothing limits us information-wise. What limits us is our own ability to believe the information that we're receiving. Right? That information, a lot of that information is beyond the intelligence of most human beings, unfortunately. And then even fewer that take the time to actually study it. Oh, well, when will the rally start? Yeah, I mean, we have a rally in 2023. Based on this is a sneak preview card on the 1 year for 2022. So it's a notable move to the upside. However, I don't believe that it starts. I don't believe that it starts in October. Or maybe it does, but it's not the right place. It's not the right place to get in. We've got an opportunity to short here towards the end of November. November is going to be a pretty good month. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm getting October and November confused here. There's a lot of move to the upside moving into basically into retrograde here, and then after retrograde, what we're going to see is the revisiting of a pattern, right? So we've got this period right here is the pre-shadow of retrograde, right? So we should see a similar thing here. And what we see early on is looks like there's a move to the upside. There's going to be a little variation, but we have a move here to the upside followed by a sharp drop and a move back up, right? So you get the reverse. We have a big move down. Now we're seeing a move to the upside. It should be a pretty substantial move to the upside, probably like to the 400 levels, somewhere around there, 400, 405. And then we'll have another like smaller dip, and then and then we go into the post shadow, and the post shadow will do the same pattern rather than the reverse of it. So we should see pretty big low coming in, and in the midst of that, that's where I would probably get in on calls. I'd probably want them to expire in November and sell them in October to be on the safe side, and definitely not out of the money. Because you don't want to do out of the money that's like that far away. It's just, I mean, you could, but I don't recommend it. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Hassan, I'm sorry. I had it confused. I've been working on November, so I got it confused. But there's a pretty substantial rally in early October. Yeah, so you could buy calls. You could probably buy calls. I wouldn't do it just yet. Because we've got this sharp drop, guys. We've got a sharp drop here, and then we have a sharp drop or a unicursal here. Yeah, but you got to be careful. So there's a big move to the upside. There's probably a big move. There's a big move to the upside to reach the month high, and a big move off of the month's high back down. Caution advised around the low. I see the low taking place here towards the end of the month of October. So that's the thing you got to be careful. But I really, guys, if you're considering opening up new positions right now, my recommendation to you is not to do that. Okay, it's the wrong time. You don't want to start new positions in the middle of retrograde. Like, everything is doing the opposite of what's normal. All right, after retrograde, when we're back in the shadow, then it becomes more appropriate. Appreciate it, Carolina. Or Caroline, I'm sorry. Oh, we did. We just had an issue where my assistant, my like personal and executive assistant, she had like something happened with her life. She had to just bolt. It was really sudden and unexpected. So we got kind of like delayed. I have a new assistant. She's awesome. She's really awesome. Like, yeah, way better than the first one. And so we had a lot of catch up, and we're pretty much caught up. But yeah, that should have been sent out. I guess what I would recommend doing is re-sign up just in case somehow your email got moved. When does retrograde end? Retrograde ends on the 2nd. The influence of retrograde ends on the 16th of October. Actual retrograde ends on the 2nd. What I mean by influence is there's quite a lot of volatility around retrograde on the shadows. But you can utilize what you see. This is what I was doing with the chart here. You can utilize what you see here. This is the first shadow, right? The pre-shadow. Between these two vertical lines. So you can utilize what you see here as a pretty good guideline of what you're going to see through through the 3rd to the 6th or the 14th. It'll pretty much be the same thing, but you got to keep in mind, guys, it's a smaller period of time. The weekends come into play, so it's not going to be the same pattern. Parts of it are going to be missing because of weekends. I don't know how to explain it. In my book, it's explained pretty well. Tarot for Traders, the ebook. Oh yeah, that's another way that you can support if you're interested in learning how to do this. We have an ebook selling on the website Tarot for Traders. It's also selling on Amazon. I think it's you can read it on Kindle for free as well. I think they give us like a little credit whenever somebody reads it. That goes into Eso-Meta in detail. There's things in there like basically the candlestick associations. Many of the cards have an actual candlestick associated with them. Some of them more than one, some of them none at all, but a lot of them have a candlestick associated with them. Oh, and guys, I was walking Hermes, and this is where I always walk. I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it. There's a bunch of storks. And a flock of storks is a super good omen, very auspicious omen. So I'm pretty excited. Things like that you should always pay attention to, guys. There's not much of a difference between the reality of our dreams and the reality of our waking state. They're both part of infinity. They both are like at a different vibration. And my point is that dream symbolism can just as effectively be utilized in the real world, like in reality, in the waking state, if not more so. So I think we're likely going to have a dip overnight, right? Or we're coming up on the end of the day, so yeah, probably overnight there's like a little drop. Either that or we have a decline in pre-market and then we rise out of it. But tomorrow's going to be tricky. There's an intentional fake out, shakeout. When I pulled the card about the Fed and the basis points, I pulled the Devil card. They're gonna intentionally mislead us. You understand? What they say is going to be an intentional what's the word? It's designed, intended to have us think elsewhere, and the interesting thing, or think the opposite of what's happening. And the interesting thing is that the Devil card also comes up on the 20th, right? As a fake out, intentional fake out, shakeout. So there's something going on there. But guys, there's a backup plan. They're selling metals in 2024. That's my sense. They're not selling metals. They're seizing metals, all privately held metals in 2024. That's why I went from super bullish on silver to not bullish on it. I mean, it's probably going to be, but no. Matter of fact, I mean, at the end of the year, I won't be bullish on it. But into the end of the year, I'm bullish on silver. And I'm out. I'm out at the end. Yeah, see, here we go. There's a little bit of a dip happening. I'm going to mark that right there as, if it allows me to. Oh my god, my computer's being so slow. Yeah, see, at the end of the day, Ace of Swords is also a mean point. The Ace of, or the Princess of Swords and the Ace of Swords are both in trade opportunities to position yourself with a straddle or strangle utilizing options, or maybe cover your long positions. So it's a mean point. There should be a higher level and a lower level in the not too distant future to make money in both directions. And that's another reason why I sense that. Morning is definitely interesting. Fake outs at the end of the day, however. And there you go. Fake outs at the end of the day here. We have a decline off of the high in the last hour, and that's gonna scare the crap out of people. That's my sense. But really, we're going bullish the next day. Not this coming week. 400 by the first week of October. Oh wow, yeah, that's a good Besa. That's a super good omen. My God, filled with money, huh? Appreciate it, Besa. I definitely see more of a move there happening. I didn't sell there. For whatever reason, I was thinking prudence. I must have been half asleep. I was so tired this morning, my God. Sure thing, B. Should you buy calls in Boeing? Do you have specific calls in mind? You should specify what calls you're looking to buy, and then let me throw the card down. It's a better way to do it. Well, it's gonna look like the worst is behind us, guys. We're gonna see some big drops in the post shadow. First week of October. Yeah, okay. So I'm buying a put out that expires out on the 20th, or 28th, excuse me. 24, 26, maybe the 26th. I do out of the money puts, guys. I don't recommend that you guys do out of the money puts. If you have the means to do in the money options, you should only do in the money options. If you have the means to do that. To do out of the money is very, very speculative. If you knew the probabilities of it, I mean, probabilities is a joke in infinity. It's really a joke. But basically what I have now, guys, is I'm set up with a put and a call. The puts I'll sell when we have a drop here towards the end of the week, or maybe there, I think probably the end of the week. The calls I'll likely sell probably sell them. I think I'm probably going to sell them tomorrow. No, there's a big move on the 21st. Let me look closer. End of day on the 21st is a good spot. Yeah, like I said, so I'm going to sell my calls. Hopefully they'll have moved like that. They'll have moved up. If they've moved and they're profitable there, I'll sell them there. Otherwise, I'll hold them. They're severely out of the money, but I cost average down, so they're super, super cheap. I can make a killing provided we do have a big move to the upside that I'm expecting. I'll make a lot of money. So let's cross our fingers. Yeah, so Hassan, I would always go with what my videos say, unless I specify that the video is wrong. because I do so many readings, I forget what I say, and really it's a manifestation practice rather than like a viewing of the future. We're not actually predicting the future, we're creating the future. I know that sounds really crazy and hard to believe, but if you understand multi-dimensional realities, we all have control over and are creating our own reality. It's not one reality that we all share. We all have our own. And this is one of the main secrets of reality, that if society understood, it would alleviate so many of the problems in our society. You know, these are the type of things that I want to advance. But so yeah, you should always go with the first thing in the manifestation. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely bullish. I'm not bearish going into October. I'm bullish going into October, just to be clear. All right, guys, I'm gonna take any last questions. Then I gotta go eat something. I'm gonna grab a drink. Give you guys some time to type any questions, and then I'll answer any, or I'll say goodbye. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love you too. You're a good boy. This is my favorite guy. This is Hermes, if you haven't met him before. He's my little messenger of the gods. He comes over and barks at me if I'm gonna do a stupid trade. He's like, let's go for a walk right now. He like literally, when he barks, his bark is so loud, it stops me. Anything I'm doing, it's just like, oh, I can't do it anymore until I listen to him. Yeah, 151. I've had 151 for Boeing in my mind for quite a little bit, and now it makes sense to me. 151 is an important number to me for Boeing, right out of my head. 151. Do you hear me now? Usually you guys can hear me over it. There might be something wrong with my mic. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. Probably it was because I had my dog in front of my mouth. That's really hard for me to determine, unfortunately. It's pretty hard for me to determine. The reason being is because we've got this unicursal here. We got a high and a low, so chances are they're not right on top of each other, but they're close to each other. And I mean, it looks like some pretty bearish cards. The last 3 days of September look pretty bearish. When we look to October, yeah, there's a cessation of a trend at the end of October. So probably, I mean, where we are, the price levels that we're going to be around the 21st, we're not going to be higher than that at the end of the month. That's my sense, is that we have the high this week. And then there's some like behavior that makes waiting until the 27th to open up short position a good idea. Yeah, the last 3 days are pretty bearish, guys. Last 3 days of September. King of Wands energy, Hermit, 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 Hermit. That's all. We're going to break down through a price level that we already broke down through recently, like maybe in the last week or two. So we'll do that again when we see the Hermit card. Sit down. All right, go play. Go play, buddy. Oh, I do have a September. See, I do so many readings I can't even remember. Oh, I read that as do you. Yeah, I do. Yeah. There's a lot of the 1 month readings that I did for September have a high here around the 22nd. I call that a cross reading congruency. Two readings about different stocks over the same time frame, say similar patterns. There's a few different types of congruencies, but that's a cross reading congruency. Yeah. In October, they're coming down hard for sure, but October's mixed. It's bullish early on. It's pretty mixed. It's not looking good. November is a much better looking month, if my memory serves me correctly. Let's see. Yeah, there's a high in November, and then there's a higher high in December. It looks like. The October, like the 21st to the 24th, that could be the year's low. My sense is that it's not, though. This is the end of October, right? And that puts us pretty far off the path here of the 1 year. This has been pretty on point thus far. But it looks like the end of October here will be rallying higher. So out of a dip, there's a move to the upside. And then the rally ends in yeah, see, there's a little dip here, and then we have going into December, there's another high, or higher high than what we have in November. Where'd it go? So the end of October, there's a lot of movement here, guys. Negative headwinds around the 2nd. So that could have a lot to do with the Fed, this negative headwinds stuff. The rally really does begin in November. There's the beginning of a rally at the low there, but there's also opportunity to short towards the end of the month of November. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty mixed. I go live every day at 3, or every weekday at 3, or Not exactly at 3, but around like 3:20ish. Around that time I go live usually. I also do live TikToks, but that's more random. So like that's on the 1 year. All right, so a quick explanation, guys. Everything in Eso-Meta, everything on the Tarot for Traders channel is color coded to help. There's so much information that like I had to use colors and shapes and like translucents and things like that to depict the information in such a way that I could read it all properly. And so green, obviously those are highs, reds are lows, right? So we have our last red here. We're very likely we're going to see the same low, if not lower, Hassan. It's very likely in October, because we were here early October, and the thing is that we're a little stretched off. So we had a low, and a low, right? So this is the July cluster. We went from move higher into August. We hit a price level, break through, move higher. Right, August is a big move to the upside out of a low. Let's see, and then we have the sideways S. Yeah, so there's a fast sudden move higher at the end of September here, guys, out of a big drop. And this is also, guys, you want to be careful. Yes, we're very likely going to pass the low. I think we're gonna, but not by far. We're going to come to that low, and then they're going to try and fake us out and make it look like we're going deeper and utilize our fear. The prediction for the 2020 1 year had 3 major intentional fake outs for the year. One was in the end of February, one was at the low in May, and we have the other one at the low in September. So that leads me to believe this is a little tricky. Sorry guys, this is a little tricky actually based on what I'm seeing transpire now. But what I'm looking at is, let me mark this up. This is July, August. Jesus. Alright, so each cluster on the 1 year represents very generalized information about the month. Right, we're in September. We have the final of the yeah, so we were a little delayed. So that's what I was looking. That's what I'm trying to figure out. We're a little bit off. So like these cards on the timeline, they're about 2 weeks or so. but that's such a broad amount of time that there's going to be some significant variation. And in the case here, right now we're a little bit forward on the sequence of events. Sequence of events is always going to be the way it is. Sometimes there's a little like truncation or like stretch in time, but we basically at the end of August we were still moving to the upside, right? So still in the ace of excuse me, still in the Fool card, and moving into there. So yeah, so we had like a drop here in September, fast sudden move higher. Yeah, okay, so this was like the Aeon in the early part, and then the sideways S. What I'm looking for right now is the swiftness card, and on a 1-year chart, that's a really big rally, guys. And that's talking about the end of September. Now, my sense is that we might be pushed in. It might be pushed a little bit into October, based on what I see on the 1 month, and that's, like I said, that's going to happen when you have such generalized amounts of time frame. Right, so negative headwinds in early October, around the high. Oh, and the other thing, guys, we've got the solar eclipse cycle coming. I gotta grab my dog real quick. We've got the solar eclipse, guys. There's the completion of the eclipse, the two eclipses on the other end. Like they're like a cycle, they're like a pairs. And the thing about a solar eclipse is that often a solar eclipse is within like a 5-day period. Or I should say, often a market crash is within a 5-day period of a solar eclipse. Doesn't mean that every solar eclipse we have a market crash, but when we've had market crashes, a lot of the time they've been near a solar eclipse, give or take 5 days in either direction or so. And basically what I'm looking for, guys, right now, what I'm expecting is, on the second, I'm gonna doodle this for you. I wish that like E-Trade would just let my lines stay there. Like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's ridiculous. 16. All right, so the 17th. Right, so moving into the rest of the retrograde, basically what I see. A lot of volatility, guys. A lot of volatility moving into the end of the month. But we're also, I think, probably a little behind on the sequence of events, so that would put the rally, push the rally forward a little bit. I mean, as far as the correlations to the highs, you gotta understand there's two systems going on. The cards are in their pictorial meanings, and then their relationships to other cards. So sometimes, in order for a card to have two separate meanings, it needs to move a little bit as far as time frame, or be a little bit off as far as time frame. But so there's a high and a low very, very close here, and we should have a big move, and then a really, really big move in early October. There's going to be some choppiness on the 22nd, 23rd, some choppiness around the end of the month as well. 151. Let me see that number. It's really hard to do when my computer's like glitching like this. I don't know. It's retrograde. That's what's going on. All right, so 151. That's being that we're below it. My sense is probably 151 is going to be the resistance level. Let me do a spread card for you. But 151, I've had Boeing 151 as a psychic impression for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, okay. I'll see why it's important. When it's time for that number to be important, I'll know, and that time is right now, B. 100%. I also just got rid of the sticky notes, so that would make sense. I'm advised that you should stay in them. If I was in your position, I'm advised to do this. Expect that it's going to be quite a bit of volatility. We should see 151. It may very well be it's a mean. It's a mean one. There's going to be volatility with 151 as a mean. Let me see if that's it. Yes. It's a mean. 151. You want to make sure that you're like in a straddle or strangle or something like that. If you were to buy them now, probably, Hassan, there's likely a better opportunity to buy tomorrow. Or on, I should say on the 22nd. What I would do in your shoes, if I was looking to buy, I'd buy half of my position, and then on the 22nd, if we see a big pop and drop, I would buy the rest in the midst of a drop. But the 15th is, I think, safe enough for the out-of-the-money calls. You got to understand, when you buy out of the money, you're paying for time. That's it. They have no intrinsic value. There's no intrinsic value. If they stay out of the money, they will amount to zero. You will lose all money, right? So you don't want to wait for an out-of-the-money option to become in the money. I mean, sometimes that happens. That's great. But if you're gonna trade with cheap options like out-of-the-money options, make sure that you're trading for big moves, not strike price point, making it to in the money on the strike price. Super important. Like when you get a good move, take it. Take the profit. You can always get another. You can always put it back in later and risk it again. But you take the opportunity, take the profit when you have it. But yeah, Hassan, to be concise, I think you probably are good on those 410s. Again, I'd probably buy half of them now, half of them on Thursday. It's like there's a significant drop stuffed into like all of these crests that we have this week. And it's so hard to see it because there's so much like bullish stuff going on, but it's in there. It's in there. So I would wait for that drop and get the other half. And then this is for, I'm talking to Hassan about 410 calls, to be clear. I mean, the thing is that I really wouldn't open up any type of position. I keep forgetting it's retrograde. So like it might seem like a really great idea to do whatever trade you're thinking to do, but chances are like when we come to second, it's going to look like, oh man, I never should have done that. What was I thinking? So I advise everybody, do not trade during retrograde. I'm not really trading. I'm more so like adjusting I guess it's kind of like trading, but I'm more so adjusting my positions that I intended to keep in over retrograde. So just keeping them a little safe on expirations and looking for exits. The real money to be made in retrograde is coming in the third phase in the post shadow, because we have a real sneak preview in the pre-shadow of what we'll see in the post shadow. And so with that said, there's a lot of money that can be made there. Yeah, I think stay in them this week. Also in my ebook Tarot for Traders, there's like spreads for things like predicting the Fed or like earnings and stuff. Exactly, Hassan. Exactly, Hassan. Yes. You got it. Yeah, but again, Hassan, I really do like, dude, like, I don't want to recommend, even though it's what you're saying seems like a good idea even to me, I don't want to recommend that you trade, man. Like, it's, whenever I've lost money big, it's always been during retrograde. Whenever I've like accidentally triggered the pattern day trading restriction, it's been during retrograde. You know what I mean? Like, there's just safer times to trade. And then B, let's see, 100 basis points. Alright, let's figure this out right now. I'm gonna figure that out. Give me a sec, guys. So, things like incense allow for the mind to return to a certain type of vibrational frequency. If you utilize the same scent for the same purpose every time, like let's say you want to be like really analytical and you're like studying all the time, you want to put like the same scent with them. When you're trading, have the same scent. When you're doing readings, you're trying to get into that state of mind, same scent. Scent is super powerful, guys. Scent is connected to time. It's really hard to explain if you don't understand multi-dimensional realities, but basically our vibration at any given moment, we can return to a vibration at any given moment utilizing smell. It's almost like time travel. So when I burn my incense, it's with that in mind. All right, let's see. We're gonna do this basis points thing. caution. Okay, so this Fed thing is a definite cash in opportunity. I'm thinking this is when I'm going to get out of my calls, I think. This is this was my original plan, was to get out of my calls in a like a pop. So there's a pop. I'm advised to be cautious. There's a cash out opportunity there. Yeah, they're going to raise it 100 basis points. That's correct. Yeah, they're gonna raise it 100 basis points. I likely will, but I want to complete the Mercury strategy as planned. And one of the most important things about trading during Mercury retrograde, if you're going to trade during Mercury retrograde, is that you have that plan in place and those positions already like opened before entering retrograde, and you stick to that plan no matter how like things might appear. Like, you stick to that plan, because everything's going to seem like it's gone awry. It hasn't. And with that said, that was my original plan. I may, however, get back in the midst of a dip. My sense is that I mean, that unicursal, guys, that unicursal is a big deal. It's on a 1-month chart. That gives it a 1-month chart scale. It's an important price level, and this Bruin here speaks of a notable move higher on a 1-month chart that takes place on the 27th. That opportunity, that rally there, it would be another opportunity to short. I think probably I'll get in, I'll sell my calls, and then on the 22nd, when we have that big drop, I'll probably buy calls again to sell them in the first week of October. But that's really dependent on how much we move. If there isn't a huge move, then I'd have to change my plan. And that, well, matter of fact, no, see, I can't. I won't open a position then. And that's because we're in retrograde, and I definitely will not open up, deviate like that. October 2nd is when we have kind of a anyhow, check out the October newsletter is going to come out tomorrow, so I'll save it for that. We do rally off the Fed meeting. There's going to be a pop and drop, and it's not. It looks like it's over a 2 or 3 day period. Like, it's not going to be. There's going to be a big move higher after the Fed, and then it looks like we probably gap down the next night, or if we don't gap down that night, we do the following day. I think we probably do on the 22nd, 21st and the 22nd. There's a really big move there, guys. Really, really big move there. Like, it's such a big move. I'm gonna probably end up trading anyways. My God, I'm a bad example right now. You really should not trade during retrograde, guys. Really. Retrograde is a real thing. It's super, super impactful. I've been studying 3 years since 07. And when I study, guys, when I say study, I mean experientially studying. I watch, I think, I see. That's studying to me. Okay, so does that mean you should see Boeing? Sell your Boeing before the Fed meeting tomorrow? So here's the thing, like there's going to be quite a lot of volatility. So when you have an opportunity, Hassan, you should take it. Like there's going to be a lot of volatility. And with that said, we could be 100% accurate in what happens over the next month, but have like these big swings in the midst of it that will make us doubt ourselves, and we end up doing dumb things based on self-doubt or like, you know, these big swings. So what you do is when you have the opportunity, take it. You can always set yourself up for another opportunity, but you only miss an opportunity once usually. You never see it again. Yes, not rally into October. We're gonna have a little bit of a lull at the very end of September, and then rally early in October. Fall, mid-October, probably even sooner. But again, check out the overview, the newsletter. It'll be posted soon. I don't want to say too much until I've done the prediction. You're welcome, B. Cool. Any other questions, guys? I think in October, the day to sell calls is going to be the 10th. Yeah, it's going to be the 10th. That's the day to sell calls. Also the day I'd likely open up a short position. Oh, sorry, so I'm getting kind of like, as far as, should you sell your Boeing tomorrow? I'm sorry, I totally forgot to answer that question, I think. 10 of Wands, and I wanted clarity, it's a no. You should not sell it. But I wanted clarity. There's like it will be range bound or something to do with an important range tomorrow with Boeing. But don't sell it. Don't sell your Boeing before B. Don't sell your Boeing. I wouldn't. If I was in your shoes, I'm not telling you what to do. If I was in your shoes, what I would do is I would hold my Boeing. I wouldn't sell it before the Fed meeting. The Fed meeting is there's gonna be a real big pop. Yes, exactly, Hassan. Sell on the 21st, buy on the 22nd. Exactly. And then the calls that you buy on the 22nd, you're going to want to sell those on the 10th. That's what I'm planning to do. So what I'm getting as far as Boeing, there's going to be some price swings, but I mean that would go hand in hand with everything we're seeing and lining up with Mercury retrograde really well. Remember, this is Mercury retrograde going into a solar eclipse afterwards. I mean, this could be a really big deal, guys, like a really big deal. The solar eclipse is like right after. It's on the 25th. The post shadow ends on the 16th. So like 10 days, not even. Solar eclipse. And there might be a wider range than 5 days. I forget that number, but there's a strong association to a market crash and a solar eclipse. TikTok real quick, guys. I just did a reading for my YouTube people, and the Fed is going to raise interest rates by 100 basis points this coming Wednesday. There's going to be a big pop and then a drop. So look out for that, my friends. Any other questions, guys? Oh, I forgot to put my mic on. I'm going to do that over. Hello, my friends. I just did a reading for people on YouTube about the Fed meeting. We're going to see the Fed open up. Oh my God, I totally hate TikTok because like you forget what you're saying and then you run out of time. I just did a oh my God, I can't do this right now. No questions, huh? I just did a reading about the Fed meeting on the 21st. They're going to raise rates by 100 basis points. There's going to be a pop and then a drop overnight, so look out for that, my friends. All right, guys, I guess I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate everybody's interest and all the questions. It's really cool when I get on. I hate it when I get on and there's like nobody to ask questions and whatnot. It's just, we get into a lot more depth when people ask. And with that said, really appreciate the support, my friends. Don't forget, when you make that money, follow that rule of karma. It's super important. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.